Lil Valdez on the beat. Yo.
Say less.
Say less.
Say less.
Say less.
Say less.
No, say less.
Say less.
Hey, so it's Valdez back in another video, and yeah, man, today we're here with something I thought would be interesting. I was just on my YouTube homepage, just scrolling, and because like the amount of Lil Tracy stuff and the amount of Lil Peep stuff I watch, like music-wise and other stuff, I guess too. My homepage sometimes features stuff related to that. So out of nowhere, this video from No Jumper popped up called "How Lil Peep and Lil Tracy Became Best Friends and Took Over the Underground." And I was like, dang, that sounds like a great video to watch. So I guess it's like. I forgot the person who made it. Link to the video down below. I forgot how to pronounce the name. It was like it looked confusing how to pronounce, but they made like a podcast / documentary type thing explaining it and stuff like that. And I've heard a couple of stories, but I never really had like a super in-depth thing, you know, besides like the Lil Peep documentary and stuff like that. So I thought this would be cool to watch. And yeah, so I think it'd be fun. Cause I didn't get cause I was going to do like a reaction to the Lil Peep documentary, but that was long, and I don't know how I would have done a reaction to that thing. I don't know if you guys would have sat to like an hour reaction and stuff like that. If so, I appreciate it, but if not, I understand. So I mean, this is like a short version of that. So I think this would be pretty cool. So without further ado, let's get into it. This is how Lil Peep and Lil Tracy became best friends and took over the underground.
What's good, everyone? It's your boy Dig, 4 Eyes, 2J's here, and today we're here reporting for No Jumper to talk about the iconic duo Lil Peep and Lil Tracy, going through the history of their relationship and their legacy together. Now, before we delve into that, let's just add some context by going through the start of their own individual careers. Lil Tracy, who went by Young Bruh at the time Peep and Tracy met, had been quite well known in the underground by the time 2016 came around and the two met. He moved from his hometown Virginia to Los Angeles to pursue rapping when
they met in 2016. I probably know some of the stuff, but it always like comes back to me when it's said again. But damn, they met in 2016, and Lil Peep and Lil Tracy has so many songs together. Them boys would just lock themselves in the studio or something and just make like a whole mixtape. That's crazy to think amount of music that they have. And 2016, it's only been 4 years. I don't know. That's crazy.
When he was only 18, and having been a member of the well-known underground group Thrax House that would eventually sort of morph into Goth Boy Clique, he had quite a few notable underground releases to his name already.
Their videos are like 1980,
He was also in a very similar position. He had moved around quite a bit between his hometown Long Island and Los Angeles to pursue music, but still, he was very much underground at that time, laying the foundations to his style at that time on releases like Lil Peep Part 1.
That's crazy. Like the amount of the songs that they had, Lil Peep never they didn't really change their style, which is like, I don't know if it sounds bad, but that's really good. A lot of people start with how they want to sound like. They're like, okay, this is me, how I sound, but then it's like, okay, maybe that don't work, and so then they start changing to what they think mainstream works and stuff like that. So that's it's really dope to see even the earlier work. That could be like now and it's like, oh wait, Lil Tracy just made that now, or Lil Peep song got released, it's crazy how they stuck with the sound. I respect that a lot.
Two would be brought together by producer Nedab, who was a staple of the underground culture. However, the two before meeting in person would speak to each other via Twitter earlier on, exchanging DMs praising each other, and there was even a lyric from Peep kind of shouting out Young Bruh / Tracy on an early song of his called Beat It. However, when they would eventually meet in person in Pasadena, sometime around early to mid 2016, the very same day they made and shot the iconic music video for White Tee, an underground classic that formed the basis for the very first mixtape together, Castles, that featured other fan favorites such as White Wine. Around this time is when Peep would become a part of Goth Boy Clique, joining people like Tracy, Wicked Phase, Fishmark, and Cold Heart. Multiple members of the group alongside other artists would live together in various locations around LA, including Pasadena and Skid Row. These were often run-down makeshift share houses that were creative incubators akin to Silicon Valley's tech houses. It's either you were there to work or there was really no other point being there.
Is it just me, or is this boy trying to win a contest for the fastest talker? You see us out of breath? Look, listen to this. Let's listen to him.
Together in various locations around LA, including Pasadena
why
and
does it
Skid
sound
Row.
like so
These
out
were
of breath?
often run-down makeshift share houses that were creative incubators akin to Silicon Valley's tech houses. It's either you were there to work or there was really no other point being there. The style of music that they frequently leaned on I would loosely describe as quote-unquote emo rap, often backed by rock or punk samples that
I tried to say that, people got on me. It's like,
heartbreak,
that's not
pain,
emo
and
rap. They're a
depression
whole
that
different generation.
resonated with
It's
youth
emo
all around
rap.
the world.
Like,
One of my favorite collaborations from them
They do
is
other
I
stuff, but
Crash, You
still.
Crash, where Peep and Tracy trade lyrics about a fleeting relationship that they're desperately trying to save over a gentle Pierce
That
the
is a
Veil
hard
sample
song.
in the background. And the music they made together at this time became prominent in the underground as the two became leaders of a new wave of punk rock influenced rap rock stars. Although this style and sound today might seem a little cliche with the overabundance that we see.
You gotta applaud Lil Tracy for getting over being obsessed with switchblades. like that's like a weird thing, but like it made it like cool. I don't know. You gotta give it some respect. That dude really stuck with it. From even like naming Sojo Witchblade and all that other. So that's just, it's crazy, man. I don't know how he got over while having an obsession with switchblades. You don't want to get into a fight with a dude like switchblades because you know what he got. A switchblade on him. You know, that's funny as heck, bro. That's funny.
Of it today, it's often forgotten that back in years like 2015, 2016, and 2017, alongside their group JBC with members such as Cold Heart, Fishnark, and Wickerface, as well as other artists like Bones, Suicide Boys, or X, Peep and Tracy were stylistic innovators for this relatively unexplored crossover of the quote-unquote emo rock, punk, and hip-hop worlds. Quote-unquote emo rap at the time wasn't this huge mainstream genre that everybody was doing, and since then countless artists would go on to imitate Peep and Tracy.
They were
and
kind of my
still
first
today, you can
introduction.
hear remnants of their
Really
musical
into that,
influence
so
in various artists on the cover.
their impact
In Lil
is
Tracy's
crazy.
interview with The Fader from 2019, Tracy described that time in his life as, quote, probably the most happiest I had been in a long time. And if you follow the
that
two over
sucks.
the next
Well,
couple
not,
of years,
not
you
like
get
it
to
sucks,
witness
but
the
it's
two
like, you know, because that kind of that era, that phase, or that, you know, that moment is kind of past right now, so that sucks. But yeah, it definitely looked lit. It definitely looked fun. I could tell it was all fun until everyone got big, and then drama and money, and of course P passed away, and just a whole bunch of other stuff happened. It's so crazy, man. There's that one phrase from Andy from The Office. He's like, "I wish there was like a time to where let you know that you're in the good time before you leave them." That's deep. That's deep. Cherish y'all's moments, man. Cherish y'all moments. That's deep.
Become basically inseparable, as both within the music and in real life they seem to be joined at the hip. Lisa Womack, Lil Peep's mother, spoke about Tracy candidly in his 2019 documentary Everybody's Everything.
And I say every time, are you with anybody? Because moms want to know, is my son alone or does he have a friend that he's at least with? And it was always, yeah, Tracy. So there was always this Tracy who was always with him, and I thought, okay, thank goodness for Tracy. Tracy's at least sticking by my son.
And Lil Tracy several times since Peep's unfortunate
loyal,
passing
bro.
has spoken on the two's relationship at that time.
Everything we did was easy. It was like drinking water. We were just always be
Drinking
together,
water?
going around.
That's a different type of love. That is really beautiful. He said anything we did together was easy. It was like drinking water. That's poetic as hell. That should be a quote. Like, I don't think y'all guys underestimating that. Having a type of guy that's saying anything that did together is easy as drinking water. Like, that's low key beautiful.
Everything we did was easy. It was like drinking water. We would just always be together, like going around Cali, like doing the random ass shows. There was a point, it was a couple months where we were like pretty much like glued together. He was my best friend. I could tell him.
And since they first met and started making music, Peep and Tracy would non-stop release collaborations, whether it was a follow-up to the original Castles 2, or a slew of loose tracks like Gods, Kisses in the Wind, and Us, which are some of my personal favorites of theirs. However, for as good as things seemed to be on the outside to us as fans, it began to unravel that the two's relationship wasn't exactly on the best of terms throughout 2017. And I don't mention this part of their history together to make people pick sides, or to make someone look bad, or to place blame onto anyone. I only touch on this because I feel like it's important to cover both sides
like
of the
that.
story.
Good
In the months
documentary.
leading up to Lil Peep's passing, Tracy described their relationship as quote-unquote precarious. It wasn't necessarily that they hated each other or that they were even quote-unquote beefing in the traditional hip-hop sense. It was more so that they felt it better for themselves to be separate at that time in their lives. It became very evident.
That stuff sucks because you've seen a bunch of artists who come up together do that because they want to like make an own name for themselves, and they feel like sticking around like each other is kind of stunting their growth. But like, I don't think it's worth it for especially in this business. You never know what can happen. You know, like X and Ski Mask, they split up for that reason. They want I think Ski or somebody. So they just want to separate themselves, make their own name. Tracy and Lil Peep did that. Lil Pump and Smoke Perp, they kind of split up. They came back together, but they're not as close as they used to be. You used to always see, if you see Lil Pump, you see Smoke Perp, but now they're kind of differently. And sometimes it do work out, you know. Sometimes it do, but also, you know, I don't know. If I was so close to someone, you know, I would stay with them. Because like in this industry, you never know what can happen. You can never rekindle. You can never rekindle. They pass away, or some other stuff. Y'all getting a real beef because people's in each of y'all's ears and stuff like that. I don't know, man. That's how the industry go, though. It's tough. It's tough making it with your friends because anything can happen. But yeah.
So that they felt it better for themselves to be separate at that time in their lives. It became very evident though that the main instigator in the breaking down of their relationship was Tracy, who spoke about Peep in his No Jumper interview in 2017. Essentially boiling it down, Tracy felt slightly envious of the attention that Peep was garnering, as Peep had clearly become the biggest artist out of JBC at that time, and Tracy, as well as other people, felt that Peep wasn't necessarily doing all that he could do to mention, bring up, or shine light on other members of JBC. He specifically referenced this article by Pitchfork, where he was uneasy with the fact that they spoke of Peep so highly, praised their track together White Wine, but only gave Tracy a fleeting mention at the very end of the article, when he had a huge contribution to the track, and arguably had the most memorable part of the song. I can't fuck with you if we were friends on MySpace. And honestly, looking back at it, at that time, especially considering Peep was still alive, you can't even blame Tracy for feeling this way. For you to be so influential in your own right, and making music alongside someone, only for that person to...
So how would y'all feel? Let me know in your comments. So let's say you and someone, boom, they're making it coming up. Because I understand where Tracy's coming from 100%. But also, let's like this. Y'all two coming up, and then y'all making it. Then y'all want to split because y'all want to make your own name for each other. You don't want to always be like associated with each other. You want to split. And one of your other people get like bigger, you know, but he don't mention your name. But like also at the same time, you wanted to split to make your own name. So I understand, like definitely. I know Lil Tracy's gripes. Also, you never know what behind the label stuff. Cause I know Lil Tracy was upset he wasn't in I forgot, it was a dang, he was just upset that like the label was like high on him. They didn't let him get on Lil Peep tracks, or when it was coming to like music videos, Lil Peep wasn't getting enough time and stuff like that. He was like upset about that different stuff. So I mean, it's definitely understandable, you know. But at the same time, you can't put it all on Peep because he's not. I'm pretty sure he signed to a label. He's not 100% in control of his music or whatever, you know, like that. You know, he has people telling him he has to do these certain things like that. So yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I feel it. I definitely would feel the type of way too. Imagine you're like best friend with Drake and he don't even mention you. Like, bro, Drake, shout me out, cuz. Shout me out.
Live, you can't even blame Tracy for feeling this way. For you to be so influential in your own right and making music alongside someone, only for that person to get all the attention and praise for that music whilst you weren't receiving the same acclaim, it's understandable why he felt like he did. Tracy also mentioned that he can't be a shadow to no one, which I really think sums up the core of the issue. Tracy felt like being so closely associated with Peep, while Peep was getting all this praise and was kind of blowing up, led to him kind of being looked at as a sidekick instead of the main artist that he wanted to be. Multiple times, Tracy kind of came out publicly against Lil Peep, whether it be through tweets or via DMs. However,
hold up. F Lil Peep, take down any... He said that? Yeah, he didn't. It was awful things. That's the video I was talking about. Yeah, awful thing. He wasn't in it. That's kind of play on. This F is awful as F. Get it? Awful thing. But yeah, dang, I didn't know he did all that. I mean, but he's emotional. You know, if you're best friends, you're gonna have fights. You know, like that. So I don't think he literally, like, said F Lil Peep. You know, he's not. He's just feeling himself awake. I know Lil Tracy, man. He definitely love Lil Peep. He still, even to this day, always like posting pictures of Lil Peep. I think his profile picture right now is Lil Peep. You know, obviously, you know, it's just the industry. You're emotional, I guess, sometimes. So I don't hold him to this permanently.
It was clear that even though Tracy might have felt away at that point in time,
but that's crazy though. You see how much Lil Peep loved him? You're my favorite human. Every single time I get into, I ask myself what Tracy would do. It's how I say to myself, you're my big brother. I will always love you. That's awesome, bro. That's awesome. Hey man, I love that shit.
down the two still had love for each other, and Peep even still posted this on his IG a
Happy
month
B-Day,
before his
Lil Peep,
passing,
Lil Tracy.
whilst the two were on different terms. And really, at the core of it, that's the issue there. Often fans make out this beef to be more than it was,
I
as
ain't
if
gonna
it
follow
was
too
some
much.
Drake Meek Mill serious beef type situation, and it's a little disingenuous and a little disrespectful to do so. As I said, the two clearly had love for each other. In fact, the two's most popular collaboration to date, Awful Things, which took on a life of its own after Peep's passing, now being certified by the RIAA, was actually made whilst the two's relationship wasn't on the best of terms. Tracy recalls in this interview that he wasn't exactly sure if he wanted to do the song at first.
Oh wait, Peep came to him asking him to, because he be saying a lot. I won't read it. Peep came to him asking him to make a song together. I wasn't sure if I wanted to. Tracy explains, but Gus said it would be the biggest thing we ever do. He looked me dead in my eyes and said, "Bro, please, this is the last song we'll ever do together." Well, first of all, that's crazy. Why wouldn't Tracy want to do the song? Well, okay, maybe we want best friend, but how did Gus say it was the last song we'll ever do together? Maybe he's like, okay, just do this for me, and then we'll never make a song together. That's what I'm saying, man. You can't hold on to grudges. I mean, sometimes, you know, it's necessary. Sometimes the principle, even though, you know, time is fleeting and anything can happen at any moment, you still gotta, you know, have some respect for yourself and can't just keep pulling, giving in and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's rough. It's just grudges, man, and stuff like that. It's tricky. It's tricky for surely.
But Gus/Pete said it would be the biggest thing they'd ever do. And since Peep's passing, Tracy again and again has shown remorse for how the situation played out.
I thought it wasn't real. You know? Like seeing that shit on Twitter, I was like, nah. I hadn't even talked to him probably in like over a month. We knew it was kind of like weird. I was tired of being like, you know, the little homie on the verse. Like, no. Bro, he was, I be thinking about it. I think if I would have seen him, I'm not saying that, like, I could have been like a hero, but I think things maybe would have been different. We probably would have really took over like the whole world, I feel like, eventually. Because I knew we would have ended up
I could see that part in him.
friends again.
And on various songs since, he's immortalized Peep through his lyrics. And as Peep's name has only gotten bigger since his passing, it's great to see that their collaborations are not getting left behind. And as someone who was around when they were first released, I remember the impact they had on the scene at that time. And to see them still resonate with people now is great. And I hope as time continues to pass, we continue to see Tracy thrive in his own solo endeavors and continue on the path he is on.
Now, I done lost my best friend who I was doing that shit with. Why the fuck would I want to continue being that? So that's why I decided to change my life for the better. No drugs, nothing. Me just being
I'm drinking
happy,
water.
being who the fuck I want to be. And if y'all niggas can't accept that, I don't want you as a fan.
Because on a personal level, over the last couple years, he's made some of my favorite music from any artist, and I think he's someone who deserves a lot more recognition and a lot more success, but I'm sure it will come in time. And that's all for me today, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. There you go.
Check out his channel. That was a dope.
I do have my own YouTube channel where I upload very similar content to this. I cover all the SoundCloud era artists like Cardi, Yachty.
Alright. But definitely go check him out. That was a good little podcast documentary thing. I love these type of things. So there you have it, man. That was how Lil Peep and Lil Tracy became best friends, took over the underground. It's crazy, man. It so sucks that we have to live with what ifs, you know, like what if Lil Peep still alive and Lil Tracy became friends, and because they'll make crazy music or whatever. You know, it sucks. And seeing how things played out, seeing how easily things could have been differently if things would have handled differently and stuff like that. But that's life, you know. But their time being that they had each other on Earth, and the time being that they was close and they made some iconic-ish, like, you know, Cap. They re-engineered a whole genre and made like a whole different, like a whole generation of different like people who pay attention to this type of stuff. Cause like I said, Lil Peep was my first introduction into it because of it was after his passing. I never listened to his music. He passed away, and I seen that on Twitter. I was like, damn, that's crazy. Cause I heard of his name, but I never listened to his music. I was like, wow, okay, he's young. Now I heard his music, and I was like, I heard Spotlight. I heard his story before. I heard Spotlight, the mix remix with Marshmello, Because I knew who Marshmello was. And I was like, oh wow, this is crazy. So I started going into it, definitely, and seeing how Lil Peep, and then y'all guys came along, the Lil Peep fan base, man. Y'all came along and accepted me, welcoming arms, and then I learned about Young Bruh, and then Lil Tracy, It's and, you know, and now I listen to these, like, this type of stuff. I listen to a bunch of underground artists all the time. So it's crazy how, like, just two people can affect you and stuff like that. Like, they changed my whole outlook on music and everything. So, but yeah, man, they're definitely iconic, man. Best wishes to Lil Tracy, man. Gone but not forgotten, Lil Peep, man. Yeah, but alright, y'all, let me know what you guys think of the video down below in the comments. I'll be sure to get to you guys as soon as possible. Also, let me know what you guys want me to react to. I appreciate that immensely. But alright, y'all, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe to the gang, conquer anything, share it with your friends. Follow me over here. Also down below, Patreon, Discord, also down below, support channel if you can. If not, I still love you guys. Yeah, well, Valdez, so you can do a video, and I'm out.